Hey everybody, welcome to Ken Knows Gambling. It's Wednesday the 9th, I think, and today we're going to continue on with our series of holes in you. And there's a lot of different misters. So we talked about Mr. Press the last time, and today some of these, I've got about 20 of them now, but a lot of them are sort of intermixed. For example, today we're going to talk about Mr. Impatient, Mr. ATM, and Mr. I Want It Back Now. So we're going to talk about those three misters today. And what is my goal? My goal is to show this to folks, and if it resonates, if you see something that reminds you of yourself, and you know it's a hole, and you want to try to fix it, there's where I'm going to come into play. Now, I'm going to try, down here at the bottom, I'm hoping I have my website down here to stay there all the time. John at Pro Craps has been giving me a couple of pointers on that. John has been very, very helpful to me. I appreciate him, more than he knows. He actually went over to my website, tweaked a couple things, and, he said some stuff that makes sense. This guy is smart, man. John is smart. And so I use him a lot. I've tried to pay him. He won't take it, but he's really, really, really helped me on this web end. So hopefully I'm going to be able to put that. If I don't, it's www.kenknowsgambling.com. I have a little bit for everybody. It doesn't matter, low bankroll, medium bankroll, high bankroll. I've got something over there. If you go over to my site and you look at everything that I offer, sports betting, phone calls, Zooms, which are way cheaper than in-person lessons and whatnot. But just go over there and hopefully I'll have it on the bottom, and if I can figure out actually how to do that, I don't actually have to say this every time. But anyway, what I want to do is get over there and look at those three guys, Mr. Impatient, Mr. ATM, and Mr. I Want It Back Now. So without any further ado, let's get to it. Hey everybody, welcome over here to Table, and we're going to get to talk about three people today, and they're sort of intertwined, a little different, but yet sort of the same. Mr. Impatient, Mr. ATM, and Mr. I Want It Back Now. They all have similarities, but yet they have their own different things. Now, I will say this. My last video about Mr. Presser, I was talking to John, again, and he says, man, it sounded like you were angry. I wasn't. I was very passionate, but he goes, man, it sounded like you were yelling at me. If I'm Mr. Presser, and it sounds like you're just yelling, and hell, I don't want to use your service if you're going to yell at me. I promise I'm not going to yell at anybody, and I'm sorry if that one was too passionate. But I think if anybody's been watching my channel long enough, they know I'm very, very passionate. I don't lie. I just tell it like it is. But anyway, what my goal is to show you a couple things. And it's not going to, there's a lot of people that are patient. They're not Mr. 18. They're not any of this. But there's going to be some folks watching this that it might ring a bell. That's my hope. And so then, if it sort of rings a bell, you go, yeah, that looks like me, then I have a solution for you. That's the whole key to this thing, all right? So I've got a $500 bankroll, and again, when I'm doing these little misters, the bankroll doesn't really mean anything. It just, I want you to, get the idea. All right, Mr. Impatient comes up, and let's say he's just doing a straight pass line, with odds. He throws a pass line out here, and let me see if I can move this just a little bit. And let's say the point hits. Let's say it's a 5. And so he backs it with some odds, Maybe he throws 2 to win 3, whatnot. 7 comes. Oh, crap. So he loses. He's okay. He's still okay. He comes back out there again. And let's say the point again, let's say it's a 9. He throws another 2 out there, and all of a sudden, bam, 7 comes. He loses it again. Well, he actually came to the table with a strategy, and he told himself, man, win, lose, or draw, I'm going to stick to the strategy. I'm not going to be impatient this time. It's almost, it's like if anybody has had a hangover, I know everybody has. There was this one comedian that said this, and it was just so true to me. You have all these hangovers, and you said, I ain't drinking that much anymore. I'm not doing it. And you keep doing it, but then you get a big hangover, and then you say this, I ain't going to drink anymore, and this time, I mean it. Okay? Same thing with gambling. You're impatient, and you try. You try really hard not to be, but then it's something takes over you. Okay? So let's just say again, boom, 7 comes, you lose that too. Well, you can feel the impatience starting to bubble on you right now. You're not a grinder. Mr. Impatient is not a grinder. Mr. ATM, Mr. Patient, Mr. Impatient, no sir. They try, and they try real hard, and they'll come back out with another one, let's say. Okay? And they're starting to get a little bit more impatient. Let's say it goes back to the 9. Well, their strategy is betting double odds. Okay? They're wanting to keep with their strategy, but they can tell they're starting to get a little bit more impatient because now they double up their odds. They haven't went crazy yet, but they're leaning that way. Okay? So the next thing you know, bang. Here comes Mr. 7 again. Bam! He just lost again. And here comes the bad in Mr. Impatient. He goes, screw this. It's been dark. I'm changing my strategy. I don't care. I've lost half of my bankroll. Screw it. I'm going to get it back. There's Mr. Impatient. And he's fixing to become Mr. ATM in a minute. But right now, he's Mr. Impatient, and he's Mr. I want it back now. He don't want to grind it out. He don't want to fight back because he don't have the patience. So now he switches gears. He puts it all, say, on the don't. And the next thing you know, 7 comes immediately. Bam. He lost it all that fast. Why? Because he was impatient. He had good intentions when he got there. But as it was going bad for him, and it didn't go bad long, but he's so impatient that he can't stand it. And so he just went bam, and he lost it all. Now, sometimes Mr. Impatient turns into Mr. ATM. There comes the checkbook or credit card. I didn't have a credit card here, so I threw the checkbook out. That's going to represent a credit card. He's down $500, and he is not, I repeat, he is not about to sit there and, try to grind back his $500. He can't do it. Why? Because he's Mr. Impatient. I need it back now. So what does he do? He goes to the cage. He writes a check. Okay, great. Comes back with $1,000. Now remember, he lost $500. Now he has $1,000. What does Mr. Impatient do? Mr. Impatient wanting it back now. he may go ahead and put the $500 on the field. One roll. Let me get it back right now. I have no patience. Let me win or lose right now. Okay? Boom. A non-field comes. 8. Whoop. Now, you see what happens to Mr. Impatience? He's already went and got more money because he don't have patience and because he wants it all back right now. Okay? That's a hole, y'all. That's a hole. How many times will Mr. Impatient, because of what he's trying to do, again, Mr. Impatient and Mr. I want it all back now, sometimes are Mr. ATM all in one. Okay, so he lost $500. What if this? Maybe he takes his $500 and he leaves the table. So I'm going to keep talking while I go get something, y'all. All right. Mr. Impatient has just lost $1,000, right? He is now impatient. He is sick of craps. Craps suck. Craps a rotten game. Screw craps. It's taking him for $1,000. Them cheating sons of guns. Now guess what he does? He takes his $500 and he goes to another 50-50 game. Let's say he goes to roulette. Okay? It could be blackjack. It could be baccarat. It could be any 50-50 game where he can win something immediately right now. So let's say Mr. Impatient now, and I didn't want to pull out my roulette table. It takes too long. But he goes out, and we'll just say pass line is now black. He puts it all on black. The thing spins. He wants it back right now. This time it's black. And he wins. He's great. All right. So Mr. Impatient goes, okay, I just won that. Okay. But I'm still down. Okay. He lost his original 1,000. Okay. Or his original 5. He went to Mr. ATM, got 1,000. So he's in it for 1,500. He's almost back by 500. So he bets another 500 on black. Let's say. Uh-oh. That was a red 3 and it jumped. This is a sucky wheel, y'all. But anyway, for demonstration, he went over to roulette. Now he lost. Now he's right back where he was. And he goes, screw it. One more time. Boom. It spins. He's on red. And the thing goes to freaking black. I didn't guess I need to put this wheel out, but I'm just doing it for demonstration purposes. Now he's down again. Now he's down $1,500. Why? Because he was impatient and he went and got money on a credit card or check or a marker or whatever. Now he's in trouble. Ladies and gentlemen and ladies, does this ring a bell to you? Have you ever been to the ATM multiple times because you've been impatient? I can fix that. I can help you fix it if you want help. But this guy right now, Mr. Impatient, now he's dangerous. Why? Because now he's down not 500 that he brought. He's down 3 times that. He's down 1,500. Here's the danger in Mr. Impatient. He may decide to go to the sports book because the New York Yankees are a lock tonight. He brings that thing back out and he gets 1,500. I'm going to be down 3 or I'm going to be even. He bets on the New York Yankees or he goes to baccarat or whatever. I think you get my point. He wants it back now. Mr. Impatient wants it back now, which is also Mr. ATM. That's why I'm locking these three together. Well, these damn New York Yankees that were supposed to win by 10 freaking runs, they lost by 10. This is the guy that goes home. He is kicking himself in the ass because he told himself before he got to the casino he wasn't going to do that this time. He realizes it's a problem, and he just wasn't going to do it this time. He was going to play it straight, win or lose, but it came back out. It's that character flaw that's in him that won't let him do it. So now what happens? Mr. Impatient, who is down $3,000 now, his rack is empty. It's got spacers in it, but that's all he's got, right? And now he's got to go home. If he's married, maybe Mr. Impatient lies to the wife or lies to the husband. Okay? Now maybe they're getting into that world of fibbing, hiding receipts, because they know they didn't do right. They know they shouldn't have done it, but something inside, they can't help it. Mr. Impatient, they won't grind it. They want it back now. And sometimes it works, but most of the time, they go home with this gut feeling in their head, in their stomach, and they're sick. Okay? So, if that sounds like you, any one of you, I can help you fix that. Will it be hard? Yes. But I can help you fix it. Go to my website, www.kenknowsgambling.com. I have the prices for everything. You can talk to me on phone or Zoom. If it's just a psychological thing and you just want to talk to me and I can talk you through a problem, it's cheap enough. Go to my site. You'll see what I charge. You can do 1-hour sessions, 2-hour sessions. I'm not there to try to gouge anybody, but it's a good service. Sometimes you need an outside pair of eyes looking into this and giving you suggestions, giving you thoughts that maybe you never had before. All right, so go to my site. It has a list of everything that I do, what I charge, and everything like that. So if you're Mr. I gotta have it now, Mr. ATM, Mr. Impatient, and you want help, give me a call, give me an email, and I'll try to help you through it, okay? So there we go. That's it for today. I know a lot of you say, well, where's the strategies? Where's this? Where's that? I'll eventually get back to strategies and things of that nature, but I thought this was important enough because I've still got about 15, 16 more of these things. I may not just do them straight in a row, but I just think some of them need to be talked about, the ones that happen more often than not. Okay, and I may do another couple of videos, touch on a couple more, but I promise I'll get back to strategies and other things. But I guess part of it's promoting my new service, but part of it is a public service right here. Let's get you to figure some of this stuff out to help you be a better gambler. Okay? Well, if you like the video, go ahead and give me the thumbs up. If you need help, go to my website, kenknowsgambling.com. But the best thing that you can do for me is share this video. Share this video to anybody that you think my channel will help. And until the next time, y'all, be great.